Hey, all you TIs out there. How you doing? Okay, I hope you're not getting targeted too much today or tomorrow, for that matter. Okay, so talking about microwave weapons, brainwave reading technology, brainwave manipulation, and voice to skull technology. Okay, all this stuff has been patented. We know it's out there. We know that they probably use it. A lot of people out there having trouble with this stuff. Okay, I've been doing a lot of research lately and I've come to quite a good understanding of this subject, I think. And it's not complicated, that's how I managed to get a handle on it. Everything makes electromagnetic waves. Absolutely everything in this universe does. Not just microwaves, okay, not just voice to skull technology. A stone makes electromagnetic waves. Mud makes electromagnetic waves, and we do. And the only difference between these electromagnetic waves is the frequency, the amplitude, and the wavelength. Let's talk about brainwave reading technology, for example. When you have a thought, that thought gives off a certain electromagnetic wave which emanates out of your head, and some technology is able to read it. It's like the same as a record player. That brainwave is like a record that's floating around in space, and they've got the technology that can decode it. So they just turn that technology on its head, and then they're able to actually put thoughts into your mind, by projecting a certain electromagnetic wave into your brain, and it's the same as how voice to skull works. It's just an electromagnetic wave that you project at your skull. Your skull acts as like a resonator, like an amplifier, and you hear voices in your head, and we've heard a lot of stories about people going off and doing these mass shootings, and they say the devil told them to do it, and you got to be suspicious in this world about stuff like that, and I am. So a microwave operates in exactly the same way. It's quite a powerful electromagnetic wave. It's got a lot of energy to it, and it's in a dangerous wavelength, a dangerous frequency. It's an unnatural frequency, It doesn't react well with our bodies. Some electromagnetic waves are good and some are bad. Okay, I'll give you a good example of a good electromagnetic wave is the Schumann resonance. It's the electromagnetic wave that the Earth gives off. And that's why when you go outside, one of the reasons at least, when you go outside, you can feel more relaxed. When we're in these buildings, we're often quite shielded from the Schumann resonance. So it's not that healthy, And it's one of the reasons you don't always feel that good when you're inside. Okay, and obviously a bad electromagnetic wave would be from a microwave weapon or even a technology, because although you've got these microwave weapons that they're using against targeted individuals, your phone or your computer works on the same frequency. So it's actually harassing you as well, And the microwave frequency is in the 2.4 gigahertz range. And it's the same as what your phone uses, the same as what your computer uses, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And funnily enough, these new watches that have got computers inside them, they use the microwave frequency. So they're not healthy. A lot of these technologies that we use, they should have health warnings on them, really, because they're actually dangerous if used too much. Especially these watches, you've got it on all the time. Another good electromagnetic wave would be a brainwave. The good news is, because all this is quite simple and all electromagnetic waves are the same, really. I mean, you could talk about the X-ray or the microwave or the gamma wave. They're all the same, but they're just in these different frequencies. So that's why they have different names. Even a sound is an electromagnetic wave, but it's an electromagnetic wave that you can hear. And vision, things that you can see, is an electromagnetic wave that's in the visible range. Because they're very simple, they're actually quite simple to defend against. Okay, and what you need to realise is the Faraday cage principles. The Faraday cage is basically a caged cube that stops electromagnetic waves because it's metal. And that is it. That's all it is. They use a cage because as long as the holes in the cage are smaller than the electromagnetic wave, then that electromagnetic wave is blocked. So it doesn't need to be a cage, it can be a wall. But the holes in between the mesh have to be pretty small, I would say. So this is great because you can use the Faraday cage science to create home defence. Let's have a talk about tinfoil hats for a minute, because the reason they work is because they use the Faraday cage principles, but they don't work that well, and they're not very good, and really they send out a bad message because you look a bit mad when you're wearing them. And the only thing they're going to block is microwave weapons that are pointed at your head. But if you're wearing one of them hats, all they'll do is point it at your body. So it's not that good. On saying that though, a tinfoil hat, or preferably like something a little bit better than that, will actually stop your brainwaves from being read, and will stop your brainwaves from being manipulated. I'm going to go on because there's better ways to defend yourself against this stuff. You don't need to be wearing them things. One thing you can do is put up wall tiles which have got an aluminium backing. And you could use anything. You could use art material. You could use pre-made wall tiles. Okay, that maybe you could use a double-sided tape to put up. You don't need to cover your whole wall either. You could just put random tiles up, and it's going to interfere with whatever weapons they're using against you. Okay, if you got a chair or a settee that's up against the wall, you could put aluminium foil on the back of that chair, and it will block out a lot of these microwave weapons. Of course, like these wall tiles and that you use as well, they will actually also block out your brainwaves from being emitted out of your room. So if you use them, it's going to interfere or even block out any brainwave reading technology. It's going to not be able to work properly. And also brainwave manipulation technology won't work very well either. Another good idea you could use is pictures. If you've got pictures up on your wall, put aluminium foil on the back of them. They're going to be acting as a defence against electromagnetic weapons. If you suspect that people are using these things against you, you need to do this stuff on a wall that is facing your neighbours, because it's likely that your neighbour is being used against this. And I've already talked before about how the West is turning into like communist China, where people's neighbours are being told to spy on each other, so they're probably being like used in this way as well to harass you. And it's just the same as what happened in Nazi Germany and in communist Russia in the old days. The ideas are the same, the technology's changed. Another thing they'll guard against is cell phone towers and big power cables outside your house. They're also incredibly dangerous. You can put tiles up. If they've got a metal backing on them, they will form some kind of defence. I can't say that it's going to block them out entirely, but it will definitely reduce them quite severely. Electronic devices, and this goes for anybody really, but especially if you're being attacked with microwave weapons, the last thing you want to be doing is then be on your phone for an hour, or using a laptop too much. Because they're the same thing. They're doing exactly the same thing as the microwave weapon. Something you can do is make Faraday cages for your devices. Obviously, like, we don't want to get rid of our mobile phones, Especially if you use your mobile phone as an alarm, build a little Faraday cage for it, and it'll actually stop people from ringing you while it's in that cage as well. And you still can have it on. Okay, you can do this really simply. If you've got an old metal sieve, that will actually do that. put a metal sieve over the top of your phone at night, preferably on a aluminium foil base or a metal base. It will stop that phone from emitting dangerous microwave frequencies into your body at night, and it will still be able to do its alarm function in the morning. And it's good to do that with anything. Let's talk about Wi-Fi for a bit, because Wi-Fi is not good for you. Much better to use a cable, especially if you're being attacked with microwave weapons. You're making it worse if you're on the Wi-Fi all the time. Another thing you can do is switch off the Wi-Fi when you're not using it. Desktop computers versus laptop. Okay, desktops are going to be better, because a desktop is going to be, you can keep it further away from your body, and it's less likely to have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi technology built into it as well. Okay, laptops, it's always going to be near your body when you're using it. Okay, and they've almost always got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi technology built into them. I've had personal experience of this, I've had to really reduce the use of my laptop nowadays, because I can feel it heating up my body. I'm starting to get aches and things in areas where I'm using it, getting headaches and that when I'm using it. But on saying that, if I go in the library and use their desktops, I'm perfectly fine. So if you've got the choice, go for a desktop. They're a lot healthier, I think. Bluetooth uses the microwave frequency. Try and avoid Bluetooth stuff. And all electronic products, really, you want to keep as far away from your bed as possible when you're sleeping, because they're all damaging. Even like an electric alarm clock, it gives off EMFs for up to 3 feet away. So you can do that with an electric alarm clock as well. Put a little Faraday cage around it, make something out of metal mesh, or use a sieve, metal sieve or something like that. It will protect you. Okay, so heat blankets as well, dangerous, giving off electromagnetic waves, unhealthy ones. We can talk a bit as well about the general conspiracy against us. We're being basically killed. We're all on a slow kill program, whether you're a TI or not. All this stuff could be perfectly safe if it had a metal exterior. You know that. If a computer desktop had a metal exterior on it, it'd be totally safe. But name me one computer that you can buy that's got a metal exterior. You only need a tiny amount, almost like a manufactured aluminium foil lining on the inside of the plastic exterior would really reduce the EMFs. But do they do it? No, they don't. And they never will. They know these products are dangerous and they want them to be dangerous. It's the same reason they put fluoride in our water. It's the same reason we've got these chemtrails. Okay. But really, you can actually if you're clever, you've got a bit of time on your hands, you can really make your devices safe, and you can have your cake and eat it. Obviously, a phone is a problem, and Wi-Fi devices and laptops are a problem. If you put a phone totally enclosed in a metal case, it won't be able to receive calls. And even if they can't do it to phones and laptops, they can do it to desktop PCs. They can do it to alarm clocks. They can do it for a lot of stuff. So I'm going to leave it there. Okay, so if you're wearing a tinfoil hat, take it off. Get the tinfoil on your wall. Get it onto the backs of pictures on your wall. Get it onto the backs of your chairs, your settees, any piece of furniture. If you've got a massive piece of furniture, like a big bookcase or something, get it, put loads of tin foil on the back of it, and then put it against the wall that you think is against your harasser's house, like your neighbour's house, And that's really going to help you. It might not block all of it out, but it can disrupt it, and the clever thing to do especially is your settee and your chair. If there's a settee that you're sitting on all the time, put it put the back of it against the wall of your neighbour who you suspect is harassing you, and cover the back of it with tin foil. Okay, and that will actually guard you. That's going to be a serious defence against that. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there. Okay, see ya.